Good afternoon, everyone. It's Louise here from Eleanor Grace, and my apologies for my prolonged absence. Unfortunately, I had some work done on the house, which has taken longer than expected, so I haven't been able to get in and do videos. So I'm making up for it now with 2 new stitches for you, and hopefully more content to come over the next few weeks. Now everything is in order at home. So what I was going to show you today were 2 new stitches to me. And one of those is called the star filling stitch. Now this stitch is a mixture of 3 different colours. You want 3 different colours. I've done an example here, but it is quite small, so I'm going to do a slightly larger one. So these ones here are using, as you can see, 3 different colour threads. I don't think it matters too much what thread you use, although I am using some cotton pearl 8 here because I think you will see it slightly better. For this stitch, as I say, you want 3 colours in order to get the sort of full view of it. So I will show you how to do this. It's a very, very simple stitch. And I've got a spare bit of fabric here, so I'm going to do this here. What you want to do initially is to make a downward stitch. So just thinking about how big you want your piece to be. This part of the stitch will sort of give you the full size of it. So you want to think about how big you want to go. You don't want to go too small because then the 3rd stitch will get very fiddly. So I'm going to make this one slightly bigger. So you just want to make a vertical stitch with your first colour. Okay, so we've got that. I must apologise, the weather is not great today, so my ability to show you in a good colour is a bit hindered, but hopefully you can see that. And then what you want to do is make it into a cross. So you want to do a similar length stitch across horizontally. So more or less you do want these to be the same size. Mine, as you can see, is slightly out of whack because I've made this one across slightly bigger. I don't think it really matters too much. What you have to do then is finish off that stitch. So I'm just going to tie off the first colour. There we go. And just snip that off. Then I'm going to rethread with the second colour. Now I do tend to think this has the most impact when the darkest or brightest colours are towards the top. So I'm going to test it by doing sort of a brightish colour blue over the top of that stitch. So you've got your initial cross stitch. As I say, it's more of a cross stitch on the slant, if you like. You're doing the horizontal and the vertical lines. It doesn't actually matter what order you do those in. Okay, now what you want to do is come up between 2 of the points. Now you don't want to come up directly between them because that would be making a stitch the same size as them. You want to come in just a little bit. So you're wanting to think about this next stitch being slightly smaller. Okay, so I'm going to come up there and I'm going to go down here. So I've gone in a bit from the original sizing, and I'm just doing this is literally a cross stitch. So you can do it whichever way. I'm left-handed, so this is the way I tend to do them, but it may not be a left-handed thing. There we are. So you end up with these 2 stitches. Okay, you then tie off the second. Now I'm tying off, I don't think necessarily you have to, and if you were working these as filling stitches across a piece, you probably wouldn't want to be tying off every time. I'm just doing it for the sake of neatness, really. And the 3rd colour, ideally you want something dark or bright or something that is going to show up because the 3rd stitch is very small. So if you can see here, I have those stitches there, and I'm going to come in again. Now what I'm going to do is come in very close in between the second colour and the first. If you can see that, I'm coming in just inside these two stitches here. It doesn't matter which side you start off with, but you want to be either side of the vertical line. You don't want to be doing that side. I'm sure you can, but the stitch is meant to be seen from this direction. So I'm going to come up there, go across and above. So I'm still doing a little cross, but this cross is slightly elongated because it's very narrow here, but it's very long compared to the previous two. You'll see what I mean in a second. So that is going through there, and then I'm going to come up here just inside the other side of that stitch. So I've come up either side of this vertical stitch here, but right inside, not on a level with the bottom here, but further in towards the centre. So I'm coming up that way and I'm going in across and diagonally again, and in a little bit inside the top stitch there. So you finish off with this stitch, which I will zoom in on so you can have a look if my poor camera can get that. So you end up with these three colours. Now I am sorry the light is really bad here, but I have some new lighting equipment which has just arrived, so I will get a better one. So you've got a little cross in the middle, you've got this cross stitch, and then you've got this sort of offset plus stitch, which if you were to turn it on the side, it could be a cross stitch as well. And that is called the star filling stitch. I think it's very pretty. I can imagine this being used as well for sort of as a star or nighttime scenes, you know, something twinkling. You could do it with metallics. It would look really, really lovely. So that is the star filling stitch, and I'm going to come across with the other stitch I'm going to show you, which is a very basic one. You may well know it. This is called the wheatsheaf stitch. Now this is also sometimes called just the sheath stitch. What you want again is to do a nice vertical line. Now you want to make this reasonably big enough, otherwise it doesn't really show up. Let me show you here. You see here I did these a bit too close together. These ones I got right. It is a very, very pretty decorative stitch, and I can imagine it being used in all sorts of ways. You could use it as a border, or you could use it literally to show, it is September, isn't it? So you could show stacks of wheat being sheathed, and what you want is a nice straight stitch. What you want to do then is come up not directly next to it, just a little bit further away. So you want to have a little bit of room between your stitches. That's what gives the real effect. But you can play around with it and just see what works for you. So I'm going to come up here, and you do 3 of these lines. Now I've seen people do more, but generally it tends to be a 3-line stitch. But hey, you can play around with it. We don't have to stick to the rules, do we? So I'm going to do that 3rd stitch, all of the same length. That is important. Okay, so there I have 3 parallel lines, and what you want to do, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to pull them slightly to the right and come up in the middle. Now if you can imagine a wheat sheaf, you'll soon see what I mean. So you come up. Now if you're right-handed, you may come up to the right side and do it the other way around, but being left-handed, I'm likely to do it this way. And then what you do is push these in and come inside those 3, and when you pull it tight, get a little wheat sheaf. I think it's a lovely little stitch, and I can see myself using this for all sorts of things. I think it would look nice as well if you were to turn it on its side, to do like a little, almost like a little fence, a little chained fence. but I think it's a very pretty little stitch, and I think it could be used for all sorts of things. So those were 2 little stitches for you to be going on with. Hopefully next time I see you, I'll get my new lighting setup done. So when we have days like this and the sun goes in, just as I'm starting up, I will be able to get through it without losing all the colours. So I hope that was helpful. And I'm just going to zoom in on these a little bit one last time, if my camera will allow me, just to show you the wheat sheath stitch there and the star filling stitch. I think really 2 nice little things to add to your stitch arsenal. So I hope you have a lovely day, everyone, and I will be back with you soon. Just to let you know as well, I am working at the moment on the heart workshop, and that is for order shortly. Just show you what I've been working on. So this is going to be the little hanging loop in a nice sort of wine coloured ribbon, and I'm just working on some new stitches for this. So this, if you haven't seen my other workshops, do look out for the information, which I've created a video on these, certainly for the beginners and the intermediates, and both of those are out now. They are yours forever. They cost just £10 UK sterling, and that's for a link to the virtual workshop where I explain step by step how to make a bookmark, how to make a stitch case, a needle case, or how to make a heart. And this one is in progress. This is my planning stages for the heart workshop, which will be out in the next couple of weeks, and I'm using some nice stitches like bullion. This is a new stitch for me, which is fishbone, and I'm going to be showing how to do that, and also some other new stitches. So it's going to have lots of new bits in it. I have some nice little pieces here to fiddle around with, and I am also going to be selling kits soon. So if you're interested in either the workshop or the kits, or both, I am going to have a limited number of kits that are either exactly replicating the stitch workshop example or as near as possible. The only thing I'm short on really is this particular ribbon, which I only have a little bit left of, but I'm going to be doing a special offer for pre-purchase of the workshop and the kit together. They are going to be limited editions, and because of the vintage fabrics, you know, I only have a certain amount of some of these, so some of them are a bit more modern, and then I can always make other packs up if people want other colorways as well. So if you are interested, please comment on this post, yeah, and do please like and do subscribe and comment. It all helps me create more free content for you. But if you're interested in the workshops or my Facebook group, Slow Stitching by Hand with Eleanor Grace, please do come into the group, answer the questions, and I will let you in. And then, you know, you can get all the latest news. I'll see you again soon. Bye.